Hello, Simmers. I am finally back and I'm feeling well. We're gonna have like a little spooky week, I guess, because I'm gonna be honest, I had a lot of content for Halloween and I never released it. So now is the time as any to release it and do all my voiceovers. I did all the builds and stuff, and obviously it's for the Halloween town, Forgotten Hollow in my game, but I just really wasn't feeling up to releasing videos at the time, and I apologize for having that big of a break, but it's something that I needed. But this is the Stroud family, and I actually included another household in the creative sim, only because their storylines fit together so much. As you saw last video that I uploaded, um, I built a whole I didn't build it. I redid the mansion for the Stroud house, and this is this is the family I got for it. I did his wife, and then I also did their daughter. I didn't make over Vlad all that much, but I had a lot of fun making this family, and I think maybe the wife I might kill off, but I'm not so sure yet, because Vlad's kind of like Dracula in a sense, so I think it would be cool to add it. And I just want to apologize again for something different. But if you can hear in the background and all the planes going by, I'm sorry. I live right next to an Air Force base, so it's not the best to record sometimes. And yeah, and also, as you could see, like for some period of my video in the beginning, I didn't have my skin that I usually have in game, and that's because I don't know, during one of the updates it didn't work anymore. And that's just what happens with mods sometimes. They act weird and finicky and stuff like that. But I have no issue with that. And for like moving on to like the creative sim, you'll see for the wife, I have like this sweet kind of look about her in her everyday. I feel like she's elegant and timeless, and I try to kind of make her look like some of the pictures that are in their house. There's this woman in one of the portraits that has blonde hair, and I kind of wanted to emulate that with her, and so I just like how she came out. She um, does like whites and blacks, and she works more on like the red, black, white scale of color. Even though black and white isn't a color, I know that. I am a graphic design major, just in case you didn't know. But I don't know, I just had a lot of fun making her, and I feel like I am most likely gonna have her die just for the storyline. But I did have a lot of fun like making out her outfits and stuff like that, and I feel like that's why Vlad is so evil, obviously, because he lost his wife, and same thing with Dracula. But I quickly added the mod in after this point, I believe, and you'll see the difference. Um, yeah, it just happened, but it was driving me crazy when I was doing it, and I might link down the creator who fixed it if I can find it, but if not, that just meant I can't find it. But all you just have to look up is the mod I usually always have, and then obviously you can look for a redo of the mod so that it's fixed. And for some reason, when I was generating their daughter, every single one took a lot of Vlad's traits, and they look so weird. So I had to fix the face a little bit and make it look just a little more human, and change the skin color and stuff like that. But for her, if you've seen the build, she's more whimsical. She tries to be like a normal teenager, and she doesn't really like the vampire life. She tries to go against the mold that was created of her, and I think Vlad supports it because he knows if he is mean to her, she can leave in an instant, and so he doesn't want to lose his daughter like he lost his wife. I'm redoing this narrative in my head, and I think like for a fact like the wife's gonna die. So if you were attached to her when I was creating her, I'm sorry. But her daughter's fun, and I think she carries the legacy well. Um, but yeah, this is, I think she's a really good representation of all things good and pure that can come of the world. And I really like her. I liked her mom too, like doing her mom too. And I feel like it would be fun to just like play in this house and see how like you can progress with the vampire skill and all that. And I don't know, like the whole story was so fun in my head. It was like when you play dolls as a little girl and you remember everything from when you were a child. Oh, also her vampire form is blue, and I thought that looked really nice. It kind of reminds me of how some of my mermaids come out when I do them, but I thought it was really cool how it comes about. And I don't know, I feel like I'm blathering on, but I had a lot of fun with this whole story. And you'll see the last person that I'm doing up is Bob. And Bob is this guy who is trying to catch on that they are vampires. He's trying to show the world that they're vampires, and they're just always so nice to him. And every single time he visits, because he visits frequently, like kind of like a health inspector, but him it's like a vampire inspector. Um, he kind of gives up a little bit, and he thinks about changing like his life's goals and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like I feel like Vlad does something to mess with him just so he comes back every single time. Like he has a guest room where like it's basically his room at that point, but they say it's a guest room just because they know he's gonna come back as a guest every single time. And I feel like even though like he's supposed to hate them, like they kind of have like the frenemy kind of feeling towards them, and I like that about like the whole story. It this last member of their family is a cat. It's a black cat, which is fitting. And I feel like I at first I had it named Waffle, but then I changed the name to Friend because I feel like Aubrey would have wanted her cat to be called Friend, so she actually had a friend, and not just um, felt like lonely in that empty house because I feel like it gets very lonely where they're from. But yeah, that's basically the whole storyline if I had to put it. And I even did like the story mode for this Bob character. He was really fun. I forgot what his job is. I believe it's like a detective or cop. If it's not, I'll probably make it into that. But I feel like it's just fun doing these storylines sometimes. And I try to answer it how like he would answer it. And sometimes I do like a couple of sims. Like you'll notice at the bottom that there's 2 sims down there. It's only a 1-person household. I like to do a couple of sims sometimes just to see what traits that I can get from it. And like I even like skip over like a million questions because they don't feel right. Um, and so like I'll do like 2 or 3 sims when I try to do the story mode. And see what like I randomize when I answer how I think the character will answer. And so this part takes like forever. It probably took me like 10 minutes in real life. But I had a lot of fun. And it's like he didn't even come out how I thought he would. And I ended up giving him like a handlebar mustache. I think it's funny that he has it. I feel like he's a classic character and he's very how you say memeable. At the end of the day, I think he's a really fun character, even if like you didn't play with him and Vlad like together. I think he's a fun character just for the world. And next video will actually be like the renovation of the house that he lives in Forgotten Hollow. Um, I think they don't know that he lives in the house like down the street, but the fact that he's always invited in is why like he goes to visit, he wants to go there when he can and like investigate the building like all creepily. And so the character's just a fun guy overall. He's someone you can imagine wanting to give a hug to every single time you see him. But he is kind of mean to them sometimes, just sometimes. But that's because he doesn't want his purpose in life to be all bad, like something that didn't mean anything in the long run. But yeah, that's basically all my Sims, and I hope you guys enjoy and stay safe.